OmShanti, Baba Sakar Murli, 15th of October 2022. Essence. Sweet children, wake up early in the morning and sit in remembrance. Even at meal times, remind one another of the Father. By continuing to have remembrance, you will pass with honours. Question. Of which weakness does the Father receive reports about the children? Answer. Even now, many children have not yet become embodiments of love. They continue to say things that cause sorrow for others, and this is why the Father receives reports about them. You children have to interact with a lot of love. If you yourselves have defects, that is, if you have any evil spirits, how would you remove the evil spirits of others? Therefore, you have to become embodiments of love, like the deities. Remove any evil spirits. Song. At last the day for which we had been waiting has come. OmShanti. You children know the Father, the Lord of the poor, and you continue to sit in remembrance of the Father. Although you can see someone with your physical eyes and act with your physical organs, it is remembered. Continue to work with your hands and let your heart be engaged with the Beloved. You, decoration of the Brahmin clan, know him, and it is to you that the Father says, for half a cycle you have been remembering the Father. According to the drama, you have now been reminded by the Father of how the world cycle turns. The whole world has forgotten this. No one knows the Father's creation or his task of purifying the impure and bestowing salvation on everyone. You know the Creator and the beginning, the middle, and the end of creation. You have now remembered how the world cycle turns and how you go around the cycle of 84 births. Those who have played their parts from the Golden Age to the end of the Iron Age will play the same parts again. While taking rebirth from the Golden Age to the Iron Age, you have continued to come down. Now, at the end of the Iron Age, it is your stage of ascent. It is said, because of the stage of ascent, there is benefit for everyone. You have now remembered everything. This is called being embodiments of remembrance, conquerors of attachment. From whom have you received this awareness? From the Father. You didn't have this awareness of yourselves. You souls know that you are children of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Physical fathers gave you those bodies. The Father from beyond now says, each of you has to remove any awareness of that old body, just as a snake sheds its old skin and takes a new one. That refers to the Golden Age. So, you will also begin to shed your skins from the Golden Age. It is now your final birth, the Father says. Very little time remains. You have been given patience. You are now happy that you are once again claiming your inheritance of happiness from the Father. You will take your inheritance of happiness from the Father. These things do not enter the intellects of human beings. When those people go to a Lakshmi and Narayan temple, it wouldn't enter their intellects who they were. It is on the path of devotion that they put their palms together and continue to sing, "You are the mother and father." Shiv Baba is the greatest one of all. Shiv Baba is also the master of the garden, because he is planting the sapling of the new deity garden. He himself is the gardener, and he holds your hands and takes you back with him. Only you children know how Baba is the master of the garden, the gardener and the boatman. These are all his names. He is also called the liberator. He is the one you have to remember. Baba says, when you come here, remember Shiv Baba before you come. I have made Shiv Baba belong to me. Brahma has also made him belong to him. So, why should we not remember him? It is also shown in the pictures how everyone believes in Shiva. Baba is speaking to souls. You would not be called souls, but living souls, because when a soul is alone, he cannot speak. A soul without a body cannot speak to another soul. Would God speak to souls in the supreme abode? Although they say that God sent Christ, God doesn't speak there. There are no signals there either. According to the drama, souls automatically come down by themselves to play their parts. A part is recorded in each soul. Therefore, a soul comes down and takes a body and plays his part. The name of everyone's body is different. The name of a soul is soul. We souls shed bodies, take others, and play our parts. We have now become aware that we mustn't remember anyone else, because we will leave our old parts and our old bodies in the old world and go to the new world. There we will receive new bodies. So, this means that we now have to renounce the 5 vices. This is so difficult. Look, children write that storms of lust and anger come to them. Baba says, children, donate them and the bad omens will be removed. Souls experience omens at this time. At first you were 16 celestial degrees full, and now there are no degrees. After the night of the full moon, the degrees gradually continue to decrease. At the end, a slight line remains. Your stage is now the same. Baba says, donate them and the bad omens will be removed. If you donate the vices and then take them back, you won't be able to claim a high status. This refers to the vices. It is not a question of money. There is the example of Harish Chandra. After donating money, you mustn't take it back. Actually, it refers to the vices. After donating the vices, you mustn't take them back. Continue to look into your heart. Is my heart attached to Baba, through whom my bad omens of many births are being removed? It takes time. The bad omens are not removed instantly. A sign that the suffering of karma remains is illness. Storms also come. The reason for this is that there isn't full yoga. The Father says, break away from everyone else and connect yourself to me alone. In other spiritual gatherings, they don't know the beloved. They don't even know that imperishable parts of 84 births are recorded in you souls. Previously, this wasn't in our intellects, so how could it be in the intellects of others? Those of us who belonged to the deity clan didn't know this. You have now remembered that you are Brahmins. Then, in the Golden Age, the reward will begin. They will again repeat the actions they performed in the Golden Age. Sanskars will continue to emerge. We sing the praise of Baba and how he is the ocean of knowledge and the ocean of love. We are also learning about love. Our mouths should not utter anything that would cause sorrow for others. If you cause sorrow for another person, you can then understand that there is an evil spirit in you and that you won't be able to marry Lakshmi. Since you belong to the Father, you have to become worthy of marrying Lakshmi. If any evil spirits remain within you, you will end up in the Silver Age. You children should not have anger. You should interact with a lot of love. Look, Baba has so many children. Nevertheless, Baba doesn't get angry with them. Therefore, you too have to become embodiments of love. As yet, many children have not become embodiments of love. Sometimes Baba receives reports about them, and so he understands that there are evil spirits in some. How would those who have evil spirits in them remove the evil spirits of others? You have to become embodiments of love, and you have to become that here. Deities are embodiments of love. Look how the picture of Lakshmi and Narayan attracts you so much. Therefore, you have to become like them. Even if your husband gets angry with you, you still have to speak to him with love. It should not be that because he has an evil spirit in him, it enters you too. No. If I have defects, then, no matter how, I definitely have to remove them. Become very, very sweet. Someone said that his Lokik father gets angry with him. I said, when he gets angry, shower him with very good flowers. He will then be amazed and will cool down. You have to explain with great tact, because this is Ravan's kingdom. We are Rama's community. If you yourself don't become this, how would you make others this? This is why establishment is being delayed. Firstly, you have to interact with love, and secondly, maintain your awareness. Become spinners of the discus of self-realization. You have to carry on with your business. This is why the early morning time is very good. It is said, early to bed, early to rise. Therefore, wake up early in the morning and come and sit here, and you will be able to stay in remembrance for at least 5 minutes. Then, by gradually developing that habit, remembrance will become firm. When you are eating your meals, check for how long you are able to eat in remembrance of Baba. If you remember Baba the whole time, that is very brave of you. At meal times, you have to signal to one another to remember the Father. Remind one another at every bite. Our yoga is easy. Our intellects know that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is called the Almighty Authority. So, What power does he have? It isn't that he has the power to create bombs. No. By remembering him, your sins are absolved. This is his power. Look, he is so innocent and he has so much power. It requires effort to remember him accurately. Therefore, you have to make that effort. The morning time is good. People in devotion wake up early in the morning. In knowledge as well, the early morning time is very good. The Father says, I only come once in each cycle to take you back with me. Therefore, you have to go in complete happiness. You have to remove yourself from the land of sorrow. If you have this awareness, you won't be afraid. No matter how many tests come, let there be this firm awareness. We have to create such a stage. The meaning of hum so, so hum has been explained to you, children. We souls are not the Supreme Soul, but we are the children of the Supreme Soul. This is a glimpse, darshan, of the cycle of hum so. Only by having this remembrance will the alloy be removed from you. The time to have the alloy removed is at Amrit Vela. In order to pass with honours, remember the Father who makes you into the masters of the land of Krishna. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap Dada. The spiritual Father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence Vedana. 1. While carrying on with your business, etc., continue to spin the discus of self-realization. Remind one another of the Father. No matter how many tests come, you must definitely maintain this awareness. 2. After donating the vices, never take them back. Never cause sorrow for anyone. Don't get angry. Remove any evil spirits from within you. Blessing. May you be constantly powerful and finish the stage of being influenced by external things with your awareness of being the Master. The thoughts of those who are constantly stable in the stage of the Master are always in order. The mind cannot influence its master. Brahmin souls cannot be influenced by their weak natures or sanskars. When the word swabhav, nature, comes in front of you, it means you should have soul-conscious feelings for yourself and everyone else. Stabilize yourself in this elevated meaning, and when the word sanskar comes in front of you, become aware of your eternal and original sanskars, and you will then become powerful. Your stage of being influenced by any external thing will finish. Slogan. Accumulate the power of blessings, and any fire of external, adverse situations will turn to water. OmShanti. Invaluable versions of Mateshwariji. 1. What is the basis of being unfortunate or fortunate? Unfortunate and fortunate. What are these two words based on? We know that it is God who makes us fortunate, and human beings themselves who become unfortunate. When people are completely happy, it is said that they have good fortune. And when people consider themselves to be unhappy, they consider themselves to be unfortunate. We cannot say that we have received misfortune or fortune from God. No, it is foolishness to think in that way. God makes us fortunate, but it depends on our own karma whether we make our fortune or spoil our fortune. All of this depends on the sanskars of human beings. Then, just as we create sanskars of sin and charity, fortune is created in the same way. But because people do not understand this secret, they blame God. Just look. In order to keep themselves happy, people have invented so many ways of Maya. Some consider themselves to be happy with Maya, whereas others renounce that same Maya and consider themselves to be happy having left that Maya. They try so many things. But even after trying so many things, the end result still leads them to sorrow. When there is great sorrow on earth, it is then that God himself comes and has the deity world established with his incognito godly yoga power and makes human souls fortunate. 2. Soundless chant, brackets ajapa jap, that is, constant yoga, unbroken yoga. When we say OmShanti, it means I, this soul, this saligram, am a child of that God who is a form of light. Just as the Father is a point of light, so I too have the same form. We saligrams are the children, and so we have to have yoga with God, the form of light. We have to have yoga with him and claim our inheritance of light and might from him. To remember the incorporeal Supreme Soul in your every breath, this is called the soundless chant. Soundless means without chanting any mantra, to stay naturally in remembrance of that Supreme Soul. This is said to be true yoga. Yoga means to stay in remembrance of the one Yogeshwar, brackets God of Yoga, the Supreme Soul. The souls who stay in remembrance of that Supreme Soul are said to be yogis or yoginis. Only when you stay in that yoga, that is, in remembrance, constantly, will sinful actions and the burden of sin be destroyed, and souls will become pure, and then take the reward of their deity births in the future. This knowledge is needed, for only then can you have full yoga. So, you have to consider yourselves to be souls and stay in remembrance of God. This is true knowledge. Acha. Om Shanti.